Welcome back to the EdgeVerse Techcast, our weekly conversation focused on NXP software, tools, and developer enablement. But today's episode is a little different. Instead of diving deep into one tool or technology, Kyle and I are hitting pause and looking back at the journey we've had this year. 44 episodes in 2025, which honestly feels wild when we say it out loud.
That's right, Bridgette. Congratulations. I said we made it, but actually you are the one who probably had to survive the year working with me.
It was both of us together, Kyle.
True. Well, 2025 was packed with insights. We learned a lot. We had a lot of great guests and plenty of hands-on stories. So we thought it would be fun to recap the top 5 themes that kept coming up in all of those conversations. Have you been getting bombarded with all these year-end wrap-ups? I swear, every time I pick my phone up, I'm getting a notification that Spotify, YouTube, some of my fitness apps, they all seem to be trying to tell me what I did over the last year. So I thought, hey, why don't we do the same thing and give the listeners more of what they are getting?
I think that sounds great. And yes, I was bombarded and watched them all. So hopefully our listeners will do the same here with our wrap-up. Fair warning, this is our list based on conversations we had and what resonated most with our listeners. So in reverse order, our top 5 themes for 2025 were cloud connectivity,
Awesome.
Graphics enablement,
Cool.
Visual Studio Code,
My favorite.
Security and CRA was super hot topic, and of course, Zephyr.
Zephyr, always. All right, let's start with the most popular. Zephyr, it really did steal the show, Bridgette. It was the spotlight. All of our episodes seem to have that Zephyr base to them. Whether it was our episode that we had with Jacob Beningo, where he talked about enablement, and he was an early adopter of our Freedom boards. He talked about how Zephyr has shown him ways to take an application and port it across all of our different Freedom boards. And then we had Peter Vanderperk, and he was the creative genius that developed the Doom port, running Doom, the video game, on our MCX board. And you know what? Zephyr was at the heart of that. And he did a great job. If you didn't listen to that episode and you're a Zephyr junkie, he talks about the mechanisms within Zephyr that made it really easy for him to tackle that project.
And what I loved is that it wasn't just hype. We talked about real workflows, device tree, Kconfig, native simulation, and how developers are actually using Zephyr to move faster.
That's right. Our episodes detailed how Zephyr's open source combined with NXP's enablement tools have driven a huge spike in the interest in design activity. We've seen it, and we keep investing in Zephyr. We already have episodes queued up for January, and Bridgette, you care to guess what the topic's going to be?
Zephyr.
That's right.
We will continue to provide more helpful lessons and updates on how NXP and Zephyr will advance in 2026. So moving on to VS Code, the MCU Expresso extension was another reoccurring star this year. We had Jose Ocampo Hernandez walk us through debugging improvements, GitHub integration, and even CI/CD workflows.
I loved it, Bridgette, when the top shelf developer, Georgiana Boglish, she highlighted how her monthly release planning keeps NXP's Zephyr enablement in VS Code fresh. They sit down there in Bucharest and they look at the challenges that are coming in from our customer base, and they update VS Code features so that we are top notch in the industry. Other episodes shared how developers can benefit from the Visual Studio Code Streamline installer. We have inside of Visual Studio Code a lot of ways to configure the Zephyr projects, and it makes it super easy for people to get started using Visual Studio Code. It's all possible because of MCU Expresso for VS Code extension.
It's clear that NXP is investing in making the developer experience smoother, whether you're a hobbyist or working on industrial applications. We have seen and heard about the Visual Studio Code plans for 2026. Any listener out there that loves working in VS Code, we will continue to highlight our new capabilities.
I agree, Bridgette. Again, we have upcoming episodes that will cover how Visual Studio Code supports Matter developers. So how can you start developing devices with the Matter open standard? Also, we are going to talk about enhancements for people working with CMake and Kconfig, and how Visual Studio Code and specifically the MCU Expresso extension makes that super easy. I think those are probably pretty exciting topics for a segment of our listeners. Next topic. This one Bridgette, some would say this has been our most viral topic of the year. And that
Yeah.
was, that was security. It was unavoidable. It was almost in every episode as well. Between the Cyber Resilience Act, the discussions on tools like the SPSDK, our listeners were able to learn from our episodes about how NXP solutions for provisioning or securing devices are helping them meet these upcoming regulations.
Yeah, I really enjoyed when Maria Wisniewska joined the TechCast. She was such a treat. She explained how NXP's SPSDK simplifies secure provisioning with Python APIs and a unified CLI. Her episode really helped me better understand the challenges, but also what NXP provides to help these developers.
Yeah, our episodes on security were not just about the compliance, though. They introduced the trust. What I mean by that is NXP has a lot of technology and partnerships that make it easy to tackle these security problems. So the EdgeLock to go or the EdgeLock technology. These episodes made it clear that the secure workflows are now part of the standard developer toolkit. We had other episodes with Rodney Weaver from Key Factor. Remember that, Bridgette?
I sure do.
Yeah, well, he showed us how their digital certificates and firmware signings are becoming essential. And then we were joined on 2 episodes by Wolf SSL, and they showed us how their crypto libraries help customers tackle the challenges that building secure products provide our customers.
We had a lot of fun discussing security. It will be a major focus for NXP in 2026. And dare I say, safe and secure to say that we will schedule episodes to satisfy our listeners looking for information on the latest in tooling and software for meeting security requirements.
That was a pretty good joke, Bridgette. I should write that one down.
I'm manifesting my best Kyle dad jokes.
That was a good dad joke. All right, another fun topic this year was graphics. We talked a lot about graphics. We had Mike Susan, the expert at NXP on graphics, all things graphics. He joined us to talk about GUI Guider and LVGL to talk about a few of the topics.
That episode was definitely a hit. Developers want intuitive tools to build interfaces, and GUI Guider delivers that with easy to access demos and expanded display support.
Yeah, and it tied back to the bigger theme, which is enabling creativity at the edge. So whether it was porting that Doom video game to run on the NXP MCXN microcontroller display, or if it's developing that next sleek industrial dashboard, graphics we learn matter. Mike made a great point. He said that most shoppers nowadays make their decisions based on the modern user interfaces that the customers see. That makes graphics the most important feature that the customers need to deliver. We'll work with Mike to invite industry experts in the coming year so that they can share with you directly some of the latest trends that they see in the marketplace.
All right, so finally, let's wrap up our recap with the amount of episodes we had covering the important topic of connectivity. Right off the top, we loved Chris Gamble from Goliath joining us to explain how their Bluetooth in a pouch solution makes it really easy to get NXP devices talking to the cloud.
Yeah, and beyond Goliath, we had several other episodes that focused on different aspects behind connectivity. Some of our episodes explored Matter, topics ranged from OTA updates, and another one on wireless interoperability. So if connectivity is your interest, I think our episodes definitely touched on it. Bridgette, almost every episode on connectivity highlighted the NXP Freedom ecosystem. I know that you had a huge part in making the Freedom platform a success. And our episodes, all of them, shared how these Freedom boards and the application code hub make it really easy for customers to evaluate NXP's wireless solutions. So whether it has been the RW612 Freedom board or the Freedom MCX W71, the message was clear. Developers don't want a headache. They want an easy plug-and-play solution to get them started on their next project.
And that message came through loud and clear. Cloud connectivity isn't optional anymore. It's expected. You mentioned the application code hub. We will keep our eyes open for exciting new projects that will be added to ACH in 2026, and we'll invite the authors of those projects to share their secret sauce.
That's great. They're some of the best guests we have because they are sharing secrets that software developers and listeners can learn from. So, Bridgette, when we step back and we look at all these 5 themes, there was one common thread, and that was enablement.
That's one of my favorite and one of your favorites.
That's right. So it's really about lowering the barriers and making it way more approachable for our customers and developers to succeed faster. When they select an NXP microcontroller or processor, these enablement tools and software are there to help them.
We had a great time sharing those stories this year. 44 episodes later, it's clear that tools, communities, and partnerships are shaping the future of embedded development.
Well, Bridgette, guess what? It's now 45 episodes.
Woohoo!
That's right. We just keep climbing up the ladder. Well, thank you to all of our guests and to everyone listening.
And here's to another year of learning, building, and sharing. And as always, thanks for being a part of the EdgeVerse journey. We would love for you to share in the comments a topic that you would like us to prioritize for 2026.
So again, stay tuned, stay curious, keep building at the edge, and we will see you in 2026 on the next EdgeVerse Techcast.